Oh, hey everybody, welcome to Flix Talk. Like last week, not really going to talk about films, but you can see these in films, so I guess anything I talk about can be involved in movies. Like last week, the people I talked about, there's been movies made about them. So anyway, YouTube. Everybody watches YouTube. I watch YouTube every single day, seems like. Whether it's a how-to video or just people that I follow, or movies, or shows, or whatever. But anyway, it is really amazing that what you can find that interests you. You know, I'm almost constantly learning things about myself. Some of the things that I watch now, I don't think I would have watched like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, younger. Anyway, so I know I did a video of Know Your Rights, where I did talk about some YouTube videos about First Amendment auditors. So I did a video on that. Then I started watching some videos on tow truckers. So I watched two tow truckers. One's based in Georgia. One is based in Tennessee. So, and they mainly tow different things. Some same, but different. But, I will say this though, guys. Watching these videos and seeing how they operate and things that didn't even cross my mind until I watched these videos. And so I was like, all right. You know, it's surprising how they're treated. If you call a tow truck to help you, then of course you're grateful. You're thank you, right? But if a towing company is called to tow your car away because you did something that's in the wrong, like illegally parked or whatever, then you get mad at the tow truck company and the tow trucker. And the thing is that I'm going to say this now, and I'm probably going to say it again. If your car is towed because you were in the wrong, it's not the tow trucking companies or the tow trucker's fault. It is the person who called the tow trucker to have your car removed. So you need to call the person that called the tow trucker and yell at them. Because it is just amazing of the grief that the tow truckers get, and yet they are technically the middleman. They are told what to take away, what to tow, what to yank, as Johnny from Tow Trucker says. So it's like, y'all, you're yelling at the wrong person. And some of them say, look, I know it's not your fault, I know you were called, but you know, they still express their grief, which is fine. But you know, you don't have to like use foul language or call them names. It's like, dang, man, that's a really hard business. I'm glad I'm not in it. But maybe this, you know, after watching these videos, you kind of get a new light of what they do, what they go through. So that way, if you are in a situation that kind of makes you angry, instead of taking it out on the tow trucker, try to find out who called the tow trucker and go off on them. You know, I'll tell you a story about that in a moment, a little bit. But some things can go too far, but just, you know, words. So, but it's, and it doesn't also mean that you need to give the tow trucker and the tow trucking company like a bad review on their company's website or Yelp account or whatever. Don't give them a bad review because your car got towed because you're still mad over it and you had to pay that money to get it out of the impound or whatever. Think about what you did to get your car towed if you were in the wrong. If they're there to help you, that's one thing. But if you were in the wrong, think about it for a moment before you post anything, because that's just not right, not fair to the the tow trucking company. You know, I mean, it's okay to express your, you know, grief and anger or whatever, but just think about it before you post things, because it can affect someone's business. But maybe not. Sometimes I think maybe with the one I follow from Tennessee, I think it may actually made them get more followers instead of hurt their business. So I think it helped versus hurt. So still, so I kind of look at it that way. But anyway, so let's start off with tow trucker Johnny. I already mentioned him. He is from Atlanta. He tows around in Atlanta. He's a really cool guy, as I see, you know, as I can see on his videos. Shorter version on TikTok, longer full videos on YouTube. But he mainly yanks cars from apartment buildings, you know, apartment complexes, you know, condos, complexes, whatever. So he you know, the property manager contacts his company, and not just Johnny, but his other coworkers, other tow truckers from that company, also tow from the same complex if there's a lot of cars to be towed away. So anyway, so the reasons why he is called, they get a list from the office. These cars need to be towed, and a lot of times, you know, they're stickered, and the office people know that if a person, you know, if a tenant sees their car has a sticker on it, they rip it off. So what they do is the office, they place a sticker on the car, take a picture, and then, you know, while they're writing up the form or whatever, a list of what cars need to be towed away. So if a tenant comes back and says they were never stickered, they have pictures like, yes, it was. Here's your car. Here's a sticker. You ripped it off. So tenants think, you know, the people in the office are stupid, but they take pictures. A lot of people, you know, they get towed for expiration. You know, their tag is expired, or inoperable vehicles. Cars that's been there forever, hasn't been moved, and there's dirt underneath it, you know, hasn't been moved in months. Doesn't mean it's not inoperable, just it's not there, so no one's, I think it's just abandoned. So, and just like where I live, I have rules I have to follow, or else, because when you pull up the driveway, there's a tow, you know, your car will be towed at, you know, the owner's expense. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, but Johnny, he drives one of those like flatbed thingies, you know, they kind of tilt down and you have to hook it. I don't know if it's Georgia law or just Atlanta or if it's national, but I know at least in excuse me, cat's misbehaving. Anyway, I'll make you get down. See, no, just eat the ladder. I don't know what was I saying? So yeah, the laws. So it's a state law, I guess, that if your car is hooked, even though before he even pulls it up onto that, you know, that bed, the flatbed, if it's hooked, you got to pay the drop fee, which his drop fee is $100. If it's taken to the impound, it's $175. So he always tells them, hey, it's cheaper just to pay the drop fee and let it be known. But people come out running and say, hey, that's my car, I live here, that's my car, I live here. It's like, okay, you told us that like a million times that you live here, but here's the reason why that you're getting towed. But most of the time he says, look, it's not me, you know, call the office. That's his first thing he pretty much tells them, like, call the office, call the property manager, talk to them. They always are like willing to, you know, to work with them. You call them, they say, hey, we'll give you an extra week to fix whatever the violation is, and you'll be fine. So, I mean, sometimes it's just a flat tire. They see a flat tire, tow it. He said, look, just put air in it. That's all you gotta do. He even tries to help him, like, kind of cheat the system. To me, that's kind of like cheating the system. He said, look, just put air in it. That's all you gotta do. Just put air in it. Just keep air in it. If it flattens, keep putting air in it. You won't get towed that way. You know? So, it's amazing, you know, since he works in Atlanta, there's certain areas of Atlanta, he puts his bulletproof vest on, and he does carry a gun, so he protects himself. And yeah, Johnny's always helping him. I mean, he even put, like, you know, someone had you know, their tag was expired, but they did have the decal, the little sticker to put on there, and he went ahead and put a sticker on there and said, look, problem fixed, and I don't have to tell you. So, but even sometimes you know, they pay the drop fee because they talk to the office, and the office, you know, doesn't want to. They went ahead and said, okay, we'll give them extra time. So he either, I think he may drop it without the drop fee, but there are some cases he just has to pay the drop fee, and then he can just fix the problem that they have. But there's 2 instances that I saw where this guy, he was getting towed, and he was hot. Oh my gosh, he was hot. He my complex doesn't have, like, the office on site. They are off site, and but apparently most of them do have an office on site. And this complex, you know, this guy, ooh, you know, Johnny told him, look, it's not me, it's the, you know, you gotta call the, you know, the office, and they're the ones that told me to tow it because of whatever reason. Whew. So he went up there, and he was giving that girl a grief, you know, goodness. And Johnny, you know, he was up there, he was like, hey, you know, I'll just drop it. He said he'll just drop it just to de-escalate the situation. So that's what he did. Which I think after that, the guy did calm down a little bit, but, you know, he still had to just fix, you know, he still needs to fix the problem so that way he won't get towed. So, then there's another situation, same thing, this guy had a kid with him, and he went to the office, and he was cussing out this girl, and Johnny was like, hey, you know, watch the language in front of the kid, you know. He told that guy about 3 times, you know, watch your language in front of your kid, you know, and he just, and he said just to help the office, help the girls from having even a harder time, he dropped that car as well. So a lot of times it's just a judgment call, but there's sometimes he says, look, man, I gotta tow it, you know, if dispatch tells me to tow it, it's being towed no matter what. But, you know, if you're in your car or standing in front of it, that kind of blocks him from towing it. So he says at a standstill, they're like at a standoff, which he was in a few standoffs. Sometimes there's, let's see, some videos that cops were called. And all but one situation so far that I've seen cops called, the cops backed up the tow trucker. You know, if the property management wanted that car towed, for some reason or another, they were, okay, backing up the property management and the tow trucker. So, but there's one, wasn't really a trailer park, but it was like another community that's where they have property management. And this policemen were backing the owner of the car. And he said, well, you know, Johnny was there called to tow away. Property management, you know, wants the car towed, and yet the cops side with the owner of the car, said, well, that's his property. But his property is on their property, so they are the man, so they pretty much take, you know, they're in charge. But the cops sided with the owner of the car. And that kind of, I was like, wait a minute. He lives on a private property that's owned by property management, so he needs to follow the property management rules. And the cops come, and then he said, that's a civil matter between y'all. I'm like, oh my God. So that's one thing I was like, I got a little bit confused there, and Johnny got like kind of aggravated, and property management got It's like, dang, I can't even get back up from a cop, you know, so that kind of situations. Johnny loves to tow parking. Let's see here. What does he call it? Parking cheaters, I think. Where someone who parks in like in a handicap spot and they're not handicapped. They don't have a sticker or a decal, or their license plate doesn't have a little handicap thing on there. No signage or anything that says that they are allowed to park in a handicapped spot. So he goes and yanks that car and rides off. It was great. There's a few of them. He's like, he hurries up, pulls it, drives off, and all of a sudden he kind of giggles because he says those aren't right. Those just taking advantage of like taking the space away from someone who really needs it. So he loves getting those. Other than that, he doesn't really like towing. There's times where cops are called to get some cars towed away, and of course they're like, some festival is going on and cars parked on both sides of the road where cars can't even drive down the middle. I mean, literally. And so they had to start towing cars, literally where it says no parking every 100 feet. No parking, no parking, no parking. So they were towing all those cars away. People were coming back, wait a minute, where's my car? But it was a cop. The lady cop was very nice, professional. She was like, she said, this on me. Nobody could drive down here. If there was some kind of medical emergency, ambulances can't get down there, police, fire trucks. I mean, you gotta have a way for emergency vehicles to get down. And they was blocking, just no one could go down the street. So but they say, well, since the festival was going on, we thought we could park here. Everyone else was. Well, because everyone else is, doesn't mean you have to. But look, no parking, no parking. And Johnny was like, look, you parked right in front of a no parking sign. So it's, I thought that didn't mean us. So, but the cop pretty much, the lady cop, she took the responsibility for that. She said, look, it's me, it's not him. We got to clear this road out. No one can drive through. He does, let's see, businesses have called him to get cars just towed away like they were abandoned. So, have them removed. He worked accidents, just like regular tow truckers, but mainly the interactions between these videos is what's really fun. Watching some of the people, a lot of them are nice, and some of them are like, ooh, they're hot, they're mad. It's like they argue, and he's trying to work with them, and yet he said, call the office, they'll work with you. Just so if you live in an apartment complex. If you live in an apartment complex and your car's about to be towed away, or if it's stickered means it's about to be towed away. So fix the problem so that way your car isn't towed. But always stay in communication with the property management, because a lot of times they don't know some situations. If they knew some situations, they'll give you more time. They'll work with you. Some apartments in Atlanta, with COVID and everything, they backed off. They pretty much stalled for about 3 years. And I think it was last year, maybe as early as 2022, but I think mainly last year, they started cleaning up the property. And so a lot of these people that had multiple cars, I think there was one guy that was living in an apartment complex that was selling cars and parking his extra cars all around the complex, and they were being towed, and he was like, wait a minute, that's mine. I was like, how many cars do you have here? You can't be conduct a business on private property for one, so you gotta move it off property. But anyway, yeah, just learning about the business is kind of interesting. I just started watching them little short videos on TikTok, and then I was like, okay, I want to go to YouTube and start watching the full length videos. So, but anyway, this next one. So that's Johnny Tow Trucker. This next one in Tennessee, it's a husband and wife duo from Gatlinburg, touristy spot. Everything Autos. I definitely want to go to Gatlinburg. I want to look for Everything Autos. I want to see if they're driving their black tow truck, it has Everything Autos on the sides. And I'm going to go, hey! It's like, that YouTube family right here. They are really fun to watch. Their legal parks are my favorite, but they do winch out cars from y'all. Watching their videos makes me never want to drive up in the mountains in Gatlinburg, or maybe well, definitely there, and like rent a cabin up because the streets are narrow, and if one tire goes off the road, the rest of your car's going to go over in a ditch or worse, down. And so especially now that I've seen some of them in snow and icing conditions, whew, y'all. I mean, I saw them winch out like a bus, help out a motorhome. It's just a few buses actually, but whew, y'all. It's just steep roads and then steep driveways down or up to their cabins. And usually those narrow roads as I'm talking about, mainly for one car. So if you see a car coming, you got somehow to move over, but without running off the road. Like, I don't know. It's just some of them winching out. It's interesting how they do it, and sometimes it's almost like a puzzle to Jeff and Kristen, husband and wife. So it's almost like a puzzle. Jeff has to kind of like stand there and look around and kind of come up with how he's going to do it, how he's going to get that car out, or pull it back on the road and stuff like that. So it's interesting how he does it. But the illegally parks, I know where to park and where not to park, and kind of what to look for when staying, or know where not to stay. I think there's definitely one hotel I am not going to stay at because the parking is just too confusing, and they're constantly being cars are constantly being towed because they're in the wrong spot. Because it's like 3 places their parking lots almost share. It looks like that one parking lot would share those 3 places, but no, it actually belongs to one person, and or one business, and it's a mess. Signage in Gatlinburg, I can say already right now, signage needs to be improved in Gatlinburg. So when I stay there, I gotta make sure where I'm staying, where's the parking lot, make sure there's no question that I'm gonna be towed whatsoever. One thing though that Jeff says, that especially with the illegal parks, people always trying to find a way to free parking. And there's one road that I know goes pretty much the whole distance, which is kind of like a block away from the main drag, which is free parking. But anyway, people still try to weasel their way into other areas, and they get towed. So Jeff is constantly telling people, pay to park. In Gatlinburg, pay to park. I think you can pay to park as low as $2 an hour, or there's like $15 or $20 just like for the whole day. Just pay to park. It is a lot cheaper to pay to park than to get your car towed. Even his drop fee is higher than Johnny's. So, but yeah. So if you're going to Gatlinburg, this is where you do not want to park. There's like a little alleyway at Five Guys, and there's a little parking area at Five Guys. But on one side, but on another side, there's a parking deck. You go in there where it says like $15 to park. You go into the deck, pay $15, because that open lot right there is for employees, and a lot of people get towed from there. I don't know how many times they have been there towing cars away because they weren't employees. They're employee parking. And then here's the reasons, okay? Woo! I didn't see the signs. I was only there 5 minutes. They told us we could park there. No one told us we couldn't park there. all these excuses come out of their head, you know, and I'm like, okay. See, there's signs everywhere for one. No parking, employee parking only. Duh. And you're right across. I mean, right there is the little parking lot, and right over there, I mean, it's like, is the paid parking. You're right there. Just turn left into the paid parking. You have to drive down that alleyway to the paid parking. But people park over to the right, thinking that's it. But that is employee parking. But there's a sign right there. $15 this way. You know, it's like. But people have been told not to park there. That they were warned they will get towed. And they still parked there. And they said, I'm not going to get towed. They got towed. And then of course they tell the tow trucker, well, no one told us we couldn't park there, or we could. We asked if we could park there. They said yes. They didn't speak very perfect English, but they kind of, you know, shook their head yes or whatever. Like, y'all. So, but there was one instance where they were towing this van from behind Five Guys in their employee parking. They had already lifted it up, about to, you know, leave. And a group of, I swear, there are 20 people were going to get into that van. And it's not one of those vans that would hold 20 people. I mean, it's just a regular, like, 80s van. You know, just pick a regular, just standard van that you would see in the 80s. You know, two seats, and maybe three, and that's about it. They had literally about 20 people shoved in that thing because there are so many people waiting to get in there. They were mad for one. They had to pay the drop fee, which their drop fee is $150, and so they were mad that they had to pay that. But they were very nice about it. They paid it, and they acted all nice and everything. Later on, they heard after Jeff and Kristen left to do other calls. They heard that those people from the van tracked down who called the tow trucker, and they literally beat him up. Beat him to the point where, like, his teeth went through his lip. So, that's why I said earlier, just like, they just took things too far. Like, God forbid, you know. You were in the wrong. You parked where you weren't supposed to park. Because Jeff has a very, I don't know what way you want to call it, but he can make you look like an idiot and not make it sound like you are an idiot. But he has just a nice, polite, kindness way, because they are very polite and kind and patient. But if you start yelling at them and cussing at them, they're going to just cut you off right there. It's like, I don't have to be treated this way. This, you know, our hours are this Monday through Friday, this and this. We'll just see you on Monday. If it's their, you know, they always are willing to help an owner of a car come pick up their car if there's towed from their lot. I mean, people call them almost at midnight. Hey, where's my car? Yes. So they're there pretty much all hours of the night, after hours. They don't charge you extra after hours. They should, though. I mean, if you're like waking them up at midnight or 1 a.m., where's my car? Do you have my car? Did you tow my car away? So, yeah. So they go out of their way to make sure you get your car in the middle of the night sometimes and wait for you. And sometimes you don't even show up. So, it's, yeah, but they are, some of their interactions is what's got me. The very first one that really got me, watching Everything Autos is that this guy, he I think he stated he was a police officer, but actually I think he works in the Department of Corrections, so he works in a prison. And he got really mad that his car got towed, and of course his cost for them to get their car out of the lot, it is $300. Okay, with illegal parks in Gatlinburg, especially for Everything Autos, but I think for illegal parks, it's the same price all around, because they are very competitive with, you know, the the police department and the other tow trucking companies is $300. The same price for everywhere you go, but they're constantly being called a scam because they are only on cash-only basis for the illegal parks. To drop your car, $150 cash. To get your car from the lot is $300 cash. No cards, no checks, because cards you can dispute the charges, checks can be canceled. So it's cash only because obviously they've been, they had to deal with charges being disputed and checks being canceled. So this way they are guaranteed they get paid. In the story, which in a way I kind of agree with. I mean, he does cards and checks and all forms of payments, even discounts, military discounts, whatever, if they are called to help you out, to rent your car out, but for the illegal parks, where you would get mad because your car got yanked and towed away, cash only. Cash only and no discount. And the ones that give him the biggest problems are the ones that claim, I would say claim because there's one instance where a guy claimed that he was a police officer, and he once was, but he hadn't been an officer in a few years, but yet he's still saying that he is a police officer and trying to get those discounts. So, right. So yeah, that guy, the one that got me really started on Everything Autos, he was going off, and he said, and it was at night, late at night, the guy was heated, and since he worked for the Department of Corrections, he thinks he will tell Jeff what to do, and Jeff's like, no, I'm the one that has your car. And so he was like, you know what, forget, Jeff got to the point where, he just locked the gate and said, we'll just walk, come on. I ain't getting your car right now. You're too, because he's not going to get treated that way. So, yeah, be careful how you treat the tow trucker companies and stuff, because you have attitude with them, they won't give you your car back. Just think of it that way. And some people, women, I think, I'll just call the cops. Okay, call the cops. It doesn't face him. They think it's a scam, but every car that he is called to go pick up, he calls the police, say, hey, I'm picking this car up for this reason, from this location, and it's going back to the lot. So the police departments know what cars he's getting. And he's still kind of, some videos like, how am I a scam? He's been doing these videos for a few years, and he's telling people what to do, what not to do, trying to help customers. People enjoy, help visitors enjoy Gatlinburg. So if he was a scam, why would he be doing that? That doesn't make any sense. He's not a scam. Jeff and Kristen, they're great. They're funny. They're very professional. As of what I see, I mean, some of the complaints. This one lady did a complaint, and she was completely opposite on the messaging and on the reviews of his page versus the video recording that they make, because they video everything. Total complete opposites. She contradicted herself through the whole thing. Anyway, it's like, video don't lie. Words, there you go. I mean, it's like, look, check out my video. Here's her video link. Watch this and you tell me what you think, what she just said. Does that match up? I mean, what she said and what I said and what happened, and does it match? Because I like another lot that you don't want to park in is across from the Candy Kitchen shop or something. There are signs everywhere, and there's even a chain. They take cars out of there all the time. Of course, I didn't see the sign, and yet some of them were parked right in front of the sign. You pull in, there's a sign right there saying hello. Or if you get out, there's someone right there by your door saying hey. Hello, do you not see? Yeah, that lot though, uh, a person that was towed away did bring up a good point, and I think the Candy Kitchen, if they own that lot for their employees, they need to do a little bit better job of signage, because they have a signage pointing out, kind of like facing out from the parking lot, say private property, or no parking, employees only, and then they have some against like hedges, bushes and stuff. But if they had, so people come in and park, where they're signed, but the sign is facing the opposite direction. So if they would put a sign put other signs on behind the signs that's facing out, to face in towards the parking lot on those poles, then I think they would have less problems, maybe. And of course, on the cement that you drive on, concrete that you drive on, no parking, employee parking only. So you're driving over the words as well. So at the same time, the signage can improve there, but it's also painted on the road, and they do have signage out. So yeah. And also, towing companies, they're not in charge of the signage. They can just say there's signage there. But they're not the ones that put signs out. Some people complain to to Jeff or the other tow truckers, look, well, y'all need to, improve the signs. They kind of blame them for the signage, yet they have nothing to do with the signage. Nothing to do. It's either the city or the business or whatever. It's just nothing to do with the signage. And that guy, I think it was this guy that was first towed at the Department of Corrections. He was wondering, it's a 4-wheel drive, how'd you get my truck, to get towed? Well, Jeff has his black truck that has one of those things, that goes under the wheel and opens up, so it lifts up those tires. And if it's a 4-wheel, because he works on cars too, so he knows cars. He looks underneath there and said, okay, it's 4-wheel, front wheel, back, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, or it's 4 wheels, 2 wheels, whatever. He knows it. Well, he has dollies he puts on the back, on the other 2 wheels. Sometimes the front or sometimes the back. It's just however he picks them up. So he picks up those, puts dollies on the other ones. So the only part of the car that they really touch are the tires. So the car's lifted up so they can be driven away. And that guy's like, okay. So you lifted up the whole car, whole truck. And I was like, yep. Yeah, duh. And Kristen, she walks around the car, points out scratches or dents, so that way they aren't held accountable for that as well. Evidently, they probably have been accused before, and they didn't have any proof. So now they, record, go around the car, pointing out dents before they even move the car, and to have some form of record. That way, the owner comes back saying, hey, this didn't one here before. They'll say, yes, it was. There it was, right there. It was there before we even got there. So, yeah. So if anybody's going to tow my car, especially in Gatlinburg, I want Everything Autos too, because they take good care of your car. Sometimes some cars are found unlocked, and when they take it back to the lot, they lock it. I mean, they did tow this car that was behind a pizza place, I believe. Been there for a while. So they towed it. Completely trashed inside because a bear gotten into it. Whew, boy. They showed, like, look at this. I'm like, dang. Whew. Yeah, bears. They said, look, bear's there, bear's there. Look, there's a bear. They're always pointing out bears. So, yeah. Bear walking down the street with everyone else in Gatlinburg. Just like he's just enjoying himself, too. His day on Gatlinburg with the rest. Literally, they're like, oh, my God. and he was in crowded areas, and everyone else was just like, acted like they were just, you know. Dang, he must be used to people or something or whatever, because he got in the middle of everyone. So yeah, but these interactions, some of these people, it just makes you want to like, are you really that stupid, or are you really? Some of them feel they are entitled, that they don't have to pay to park, or they shouldn't have been towed for some reason or another, that they're just, I hate Gatlinburg, I'm never coming back here again. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, bye. So, yeah, I mean, and and Jeff is like, just pay to park, you know? I mean, it's pay to park. And I even seen some comments on some videos saying, hey, thank you, you know, with watching your videos, I know where to park, where not to park, and stuff, and yeah, there's a hotel, though, I don't really want to say this one out, but, they kind of not really share the parking lot, but it's like these parking lots are just either kind of connected, but they're separate at the same time, and the overflow is like a block away, and yet that people think they're there. But if you ever go to Gatlinburg and you see a parking spot that is numbered, do not park there. That is for employees. Employees, whoever around anywhere in Gatlinburg, because employees have to pay for that parking spot. They pay for that parking spot. So when they go to work and that parking spot's taken up, they can't park. They can't work. That is why, you know, Jeff is like, look, if they're numbered, you can't park there. It's because it's employees around the area, in the Gatlinburg area, they rent, they pay, like a month, a year, whatever, a monthly fee, a yearly fee, whatever, just probably monthly, just in case they're not there forever. But they pay for that spot. That's why they're numbered. Unnumbered spots, they're for visitors. Numbered, don't do it. Or if it says reserved or whatever, don't park there. That's people pay to park in that spot. So, okay, now I know. Number spots, don't park there. Yeah, but yeah, that hotel, they're purposely telling, I don't know if they're purposely telling, but they've been told by multiple people that I've heard in multiple videos that, well, the hotel told us to park there. It could be the same lie, or it could be the truth, that maybe there is someone there that doesn't know any better, or maybe they're confused. Maybe they're thinking of a certain area when the customer is actually talking about a different area than the one that they're thinking of. So I don't know, but yeah, that one I said signage needs to be improved. That's one hotel I'm not going to stay at, just because I don't want the risk of being towed away. Good luck. So, yeah. But watching these videos, it's just interesting how they do things. But yeah, I'm always looking for. There's still more videos. A lot. They do a lot of videos, and I haven't seen a lot. I watched a few from like a year ago last night. I try to watch some of the most recent ones, more like illegal parts, because they're the ones that just interest me. But the cops, my God, they feel like they deserve a discount, or, you know, and then Jeff, he just says, well, if you are a cop, then you should know better than to park in where there's signs where it says no parking. Just like there's one where a cop that was coming back, he and his wife, and I think and 2 kids, they were just riding these little mopeds around. I mean, they had it parked right there, right in the alleyway where you go down where Five Guys is. And this little area right there where we'll just park here. Well, it's not a park. That's not a parking spot. Not even for little mopeds, little scooters. So, they were about to hook him, and that guy immediately says, I'm a cop. And Jeff was like, what does that mean? I mean, what is that? Who cares? If you're a cop, you get towed, you're going to have to pay the same amount as everyone else. End of story. There's no discount. And his thing is like, why did he feel the need to tell me he's a cop? I mean, why? Like, is that supposed to mean something to him? I'm a cop. He gets the attitudes because the cops, they feel more entitled than anyone else. I mean, there's like 2 police, they went to the police department over one cop, and he wasn't even really a cop, he was like a reserve. He was just kind of one that helps out on occasion, and he was trying to say, I'm a cop, so he's trying to get the benefits of free parking or discounts at this and that. So it's really kind of, and if they do that in Gatlinburg, you know, there's one from like, I think, Augusta, Georgia. The Internal Affairs called Jeff on that one and said, look, you posted this video, and we just want you to know that this guy no longer, he hasn't been a cop in some years, and this really concerns me that there's people out there once were a cop that are still posing, acting like they are still a cop and trying to abuse the position or whatever, whether they're a cop or not. So if they're not physically in a uniform and they say they're a cop, you may want to look for a badge. Say, look, if you show me your official badge, then maybe let me see your ID and your badge or something. Maybe that will solidify some things, but yeah, it's already a few just in the Gatlinburg area, just trying to reap some discounts and benefits or whatever from other states, other areas. So, yeah, just be warned out there, businesses, people. I'm a cop, la 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 la. Like, yeah, okay. You're out of uniform. May I see your badge, please? And what department do you work on? Because I would like to call and verify that you actually work there. Because I've heard too many stories. Yeah, so that's why I know a lot of places like McDonald's, Burger King, if they're in their uniform, they go ahead and give them like a discount, whether they pay for the meal, like their meals like half off or something, or free coffee, something like that. But if they're out of uniform, guess what? You have to pay like everyone else. Because you're kind of like on duty when you're in uniform. You're not going to wear your uniform when you're off duty. Normally. Even though you got some crazy people that may do that. Yeah, but anyway, check out Towtrucker. I think on YouTube he is Towtrucker as it's spelled, with an ER. I know there's one where there's no E at, maybe on TikTok there's no ER. Or it's Instagram, I don't know. So, anyway, just like type it out how it's tow truck or ER. Well, some of it's ER, some of it's just R. So, but it's Johnny. And Everything Autos from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Those are great. They do a good job. They record everything, so you get to see all the winching out, them lifting up the cars, bringing them, and the legal parking interactions, which are, some of them are just, it makes you like, oh my God, are they really trying to pull this? And you hear the same excuses. I didn't see the sign. I was only there 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. One thing, Gatlinburg kind of gives you a certain amount of time, and then after that, then they'll call to get your car towed. They're not going to, some of them are immediate. Some places, they're not going to tell you not to park there. They're going to let you park, and then they're going to have your car towed. So, even if they tell you, yeah, you can go ahead and park there, tow the car. If you don't pay to park in Gatlinburg, you may be at risk of being towed. So, just pay to park. I'll go ahead and try to. Oh, and there is also another parking lot real quick. With the mountain roller coaster. This one was ridiculous, guys. I'm flabbergasted over the outcome of this one. It's why? Because I think it's right next door to Ripley's, believe it or not, museum. Anyway, with the roller coaster there, they have a parking lot. And it clearly states it's for the mountain roller coaster. Here's the thing. That parking lot, as I said, it's for the roller coaster. And it's roller coaster only. So you park there, you ride a roller coaster. When you're done riding the roller coaster, and you decide to leave your car and do something else, that is when you're going to get towed. Because there are people who just sit there and watch the parking lot. They watch who gets out. They keep track of whose car it is. And if they see, oh look, there's the owner of that truck or car or whatever, and they're walking away, get on the phone. Your car's getting towed. So they don't play with it right there. Because a car was towed there, and they went to, I think they were parts, somehow Ripley's Believe It or Not was involved. Car was towed, and they were mad. Ooh, boy. There's a few of them where the women got really mad, and then the husband had to call back and say, I'm sorry, my wife just had a little outburst. And he was, usually it's the husbands that are like really easy to work with, the women, oh my goodness. Yeah, but this one, goodness. Someone like, you're bringing my car back, I'm not paying that. We were told we could park there, blah, blah, blah. Whoa, goodness gracious. Well, this is what happened. They couldn't find, one of the questions that they are also asking, well, you have my car. How am I supposed to get there? They give them the address. They say, well, you got to take an Uber, a Lyft, a cab. The trolley takes you about like a block away. So they give them options, some options of how to get there. And then they're like, why should I have to you need to come and get me. It's like, this lady had the people from Ripley's Believe It or Not take them to the lot. They made Ripley's pay for the $300 fee. And that was like, why? They parked, Jeff tried to get the story out of them, but they were tight-lipped. Apparently the husband was on the phone with corporate. How is someone going to be on corporate when it's like 9:30 at night? No one is going to be, even on the West Coast, it would have been 7:30. No one in corporate office, they're not open that late. I'm quite sure they close at 5. They may have maybe a customer hotline or whatever, support line. But I don't think it was corporate they talked to. But somehow, they made such a big stink about, we were told to park there, and just told their situation, and they're really mad, and it was just like, so the guys from Ripley just didn't say anything. They said, yeah, they were in the wrong, pretty much admitted that they were in the wrong. that those people parked, because by the time they went back to the car, they were the only car in there, would have been the only car in the lot, because the roller coaster had already closed, and everyone should have been gone from there anyway. So that right there just proves that if you make such a big deal and big stink out of some certain situations, they'll just give you what you want. That right there is just, that's just amazing. I'm quite sure Ripley's turned in that receipt, because they give receipts. Also, if you're a scam, why would they give you a receipt? They make sure you are given a receipt no matter what. So, for the cash only thing, why? That just right there, even me knowing, it's like, I'm asking a question like, it can't be a scam. There's no way a scam. They give you a receipt from one, and then the other reason they gave you throughout this video, they're not a scam. Everything Autos not a scam, dude. They're the legit thing. My goodness gracious. Yeah, but those people, that's just ridiculous right there. I mean, woo. Yeah, there's some situations where they're like, say, you are going to bring my car back. I'm not paying that. I said, well, yes you are, or you won't get your car back. That's the only option you get. Ta-da! And your ID has to match your registration too. So if there was a situation that this woman's ex-wife, this woman was driving a car that was in her ex-husband's name, that was registered to him. So then it was like, well, how am I supposed to get the car back? I mean, it's in his name. It's registered to him, but he's letting me use it because situation. And it's like, well, then I need to, he needs that well, Jeff ended up talking to the ex-husband. The ex-husband just kind of took a picture of his license and gave him a verbal, it's like, yes, it's okay to release the car back to him. So they're doing a legit thing. They're making sure that the correct person is getting the car back from the lot. My car's registered to me. I am able to pick up my car. No one else. My dad can't unless I give him the permission or whatever. If it's a rental car, it just, name has just matched, the rental agreement. Simple as that. So, I think I covered about everything. Everything Autos, Towtrucker. Give them a look on TikTok and YouTube. And it's just, some of the interactions will just really blow you away, and how entitled that people feel that they that they think they are. That they're too good to be towed away or stuff. I don't know. It's yeah. I could go on to other stories with Towtrucker, but I mean not Towtrucker, but with Everything Autos. But take a look at them. Jeff and Kristen, man, Jeff's got this long beard. But anyway, hey, thanks for this is a long video. I'm sorry, but hey, if you're going up to Gatlinburg, I gave you pointers right there, where to park, not where to park. So anyway, just be careful where you park. Pay to park. Just pay to park. At least the people that run the parking lots, that your car is safe there. A lot safer than being actually open where the employees park, because employees may pay for their parking spot, but it's kind of out in the open and not as guarded as the tourists. So just think about that. A lot cheaper than paying the $300 to get it out, or $150 drop fee. So seriously, guys, I'd rather just pay the $20, 15, 20, whatever. So, but there's different lots have different prices. Sometimes some churches just say $10, $5, whatever. So there's different price points throughout the whole place. So anyway, yeah. So thanks for watching. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next week. But anyway, thanks for watching. And hey, YouTube, man, YouTube. They got a lot of things on there. So, see you guys later. Bye, guys.